Okay, so I'm going to do a color change here, and I'm going to do it in a ribbing pattern. I'm going to do a knit 2 purl 1 type ribbing pattern. So I've already got a few rows cast on here and knitted, and then we'll just knit our first two, and then we'll purl. And so that gets your first set of ribbing. And then we're going to change our color to black. And you'll want to leave a little bit of a tail on it. Doesn't have to be very long, but it needs to be long enough that you can weave in the end. So about that long is pretty good. I put it on the bottom and then use the loop. I put it through to knit, and then I keep my tension. And oftentimes I will hold on to the original color as well, just to keep it all tight. And then you've got your first one there. And to knit your second one, I always hold on to the two of the second color just to make sure that I keep my tension. But I always use the top one because the top one is typically the one that's attached to my skein. And then I knit. And now that you've got two stitches on, you can go ahead and drop it. And you don't really need to use it unless you want to. And then you gotta bring it around to the front. And you do your purl. And then you'll need to switch your color to do another one. And when you do it like I just did, you'll have a little slack of color. I call it a little slack of color here. And you can see it there, you've got this little line going across for color. And so a good way to not have that happen is you take and you cross your colors over like this. And so we cross the pink, black over the pink, which there'll still be a little slack here. And then we'll cross our pink over our black. And so our pink goes over the top of our black, and then knit, and then take your pink over your black, and go around and purl. And that just keeps your colors together. So when you get down here to your next set of pink colors, put your pink over your black, and you knit, and then you put your black over your pink, and then you knit. And if you just keep it like that, and you go through, as you can see, you keep your two yarns together. And so that way when you get down to needing another color, it's already there. And you don't have that big slack there, as I call it. Because when you look over here, we've got this big piece right here of the black, and this big piece of the pink here. And on these ones, you don't have that as bad. You can see where you've crossed your colors over, but you don't have that big loose piece right here. And these loose pieces always bother me because they get caught on things if they're not tight enough. And so it just kind of looks funny. And so when you cross it over, it looks a little cleaner. And then you keep it over better. And so you just keep on going with your colors. You cross it over, so it looks like that. And then you knit, cross it over, go to the front, and you purl. And then you cross it over, and you knit. And if you just keep crossing it over, it'll keep all of your yarn together. The biggest issue that you run into when you are crossing over your yarns is that you get this giant knot. You've got your yarns all twisted together, and so it just makes like a giant knot in your yarn. And if you keep all of your yarn in the skein or the ball that you're working with, like here's another project that I'm working on. It's a shawl, it's got color over here, and then a color in the middle, and then this color here. And if you look, you can see here where I've crossed over the colors and continued knitting. And I don't continue crossing over the colors because you want to have that solid color all the way across. So when you've got your color all the way across, you've just got this line here where you've crossed over the stitches. And you can see my mess of yarn here. Everything is kind of stuck together. It's because I have twisted my yarns together like I did with my other ball. And so if you keep them in the ball like this, you can just wrap it up. And then once you get up here to this mess, you just find where it's at and go through the middle and unwind it. And then it just makes it easier for you to be able to keep all of your yarn together. And it doesn't take as long to unwind when you're in the middle of a project because all of your yarn is together and easy to roll up. So then you've got all of your yarn separated out to your balls, and then it looks like this, where it's nice and neat, and you've got your different colored yarns all together.